Alright, here we are back inside of the world's worst movie theater. 25 of my top 30 worst movies down. Only 4 more to go. And so we come down to the wire here. Let's get to a movie that does, another one of those movies that holds significance in my life. We've reached number 4 on the list because why was this movie so significant? It was the first movie I ever walked out of in my entire life. I've been going to the movies for 13 years up to this point. 4 of them were by myself. But number 4 on this list is the first movie I ever walked out of. And that is, of course, Frank Miller's legendary classic, in more ways than one, as we'll get to in a little bit, The Spirit. The Spirit, if you don't know what this is based off of the comic strip by Will Eisner. It's made by the same people who did Sin City. Of course, Frank Miller's Sin City was a really good movie. But then you have this movie here, a film that was trimmed down by Lionsgate, because this was originally supposed to be, I believe, an R-rated film, and then they cut it down to a PG-13. But even then, even after all of that, the movie was one of the most excruciating times I've ever had in a movie theater. In fact, you could say that for the rest of the movies on this list too. But down these mean streets a man must come, a hero born, murdered, and born again. When a rookie cop named Denny Colt, played by Gabriel Mott, returns from the beyond as the Spirit, a hero whose mission is to fight against the bad forces from the shadows of Central City, the Octopus, played by Samuel L. Jackson, who kills anyone unfortunate enough to see his face who has other plans. He's going to wipe out the entire city. The Spirit tracks this cold-hearted killer from the city's run-down warehouses to the damp catacombs to the windswept waterfront, all the while facing a bevy of beautiful women who either want to seduce, love, or kill the masked crusader. Basically, it's a feature based off the Will Eisner comic, and I'm not gonna lie, I was about ready to leave after literally the first bit of dialogue started. Not even a few minutes into the movie, and I was already just like, okay, I'm really starting to feel uncomfortable watching this, but I gave it a chance. I powered through it. I kept hope that this was going to turn around pretty quickly. And then 20 to 25 minutes in, I was about ready to leave again. It was the scene that features the Spirit when he was a teen, and I got intrigued by the chemistry between him and Dr. Alan Dolan, played by Sarah Paulson. And then about 45 to 50 minutes in, I was getting ready to leave again, but then a random shot of Eva Mendes' ass is up on the screen. It's just like, what the hell? I'll stay for a little bit more. Hey, Eva Mendes' ass is on the screen in a PG-13 movie. I'll take it. It's something. 10 minutes later, I wanted to leave again when Samuel L. Jackson was looking at the foot with the head and saying, that was weird, but that ended quickly, so I let it pass. So, do you want to know when the moment finally came for me to get the hell out of the theater? It was the moment I finally decided to leave this pile of garbage was the middle of the confrontation between the Octopus and the Spirit, and out of nowhere, they fry a cat. And if you know which scene I'm talking about, boy, tell me you wouldn't leave after seeing this abomination.
We have to have people over more often. I like this.
That was the point when I said, that's it, I'm out of here. I mean, granted, if it was just that one scene, I probably would have stayed, but because I wanted to leave so many times in this movie, and that was the point where the point when that cat's friggin' eyes hit that sink, I was just like, I'm done, I'm getting out of here, and I literally walked out of the theater, and I was so mad at that point, I had asked for a refund back, and I got my $7 back, and here's the funniest part of this whole thing. I paid with my ticket with a free movie cash slip I got for one of the movies I bought. I think it was trying to remember what it was. I don't know if it was The Punisher or something like that, but it was a movie where, you used to have that thing on those DVDs when you used to get there'd be like a sticker on the front where it say you get a free movie cash, you get to see whatever movie you want to see, and so I used it on this, and hey, I got $7 back I made $7 in the process, but despite all of that, at that same time, I was offended watching this just because of the sheer audacity of the stupidity of this entire movie. Like, you don't care about this character of the Spirit whatsoever. He seems like a douche. He seems like a douche that thinks he's God's gift to women because he gets to sleep with all these different women that either want to kill him, want to bang him, or whatever. And why am I supposed to feel for this guy whatsoever? I don't know. I never read the Spirit comic books, and let me tell you something. This movie did not make me want to see the Spirit ever again after this. I still have never seen the ending of this movie. That moment when the cat gets killed was just like, that's the last thing I remember from this movie, because how can you forget something as abominable, much of an abortion as that was? And yeah, it just sets up Frank Miller being not the Frank Miller that we remember him for. Remember, this was before Holy Terror. This was before All-Star Batman and Robin. This was before Dark Knight Strikes Again at that point. If you think Frank Miller is worthy of anything nowadays after watching this movie, you're out of your goddamn mind, because, yeah, this movie is unbelievably bad. It's a film that I have still never finished in my entire life. I mean, would you stick around after watching that? If you're smart, you'll stay the hell away from this movie. I was smart enough to never go back and watch the final, I don't even know how much time was left in the movie. Probably about I'm guessing maybe another 30, 45 minutes. But, I mean, at that point, that was like my fourth or fifth time wanting to leave the theater. And that was the point where I was just like, okay, I'm done. And just that moment right there, that moment when the cat got killed, the stupid way they did it, it's just, I can't take this anymore. This is absolutely horrible. This is one of the worst things I have ever seen in my entire life, and it doesn't help when everybody else is acting like a freaking moron or a stupid idiot. Samuel Jackson is a terrible villain. Scarlett Johansson's just wasted there. Eva Mendes doesn't really do a whole lot in this movie. Neither does Sarah Paulson. Neither does Paz Vega. Neither does Jamie King, who's supposed to be this mystical spirit that's is like, for some reason, she's like the god of this world, and just like, I'm flabbergasted. I'm going back to this movie, and like I said, it's been 17 years since I remember anything from this movie. Like I said, I've never seen the last half hour of this movie, which I'm guessing it's a half hour. I don't know how much time was left, but oh my god, like, the memories I have of walking out of that theater watching this movie will be etched in my memories forever. Like, I mean, I can't believe I had to relive that again. That moment, like, I almost got out of my chair that I'm sitting in, because it's just like, okay, I'm getting bad memories again. It's like a bad nightmare. Like, you're just waiting to wake up from this horrid nightmare of a movie. And this is a horrid nightmare of a film. This is an absolute abomination. It's a mess. It's completely awful. It's unenjoyable, it's unpleasant, and like I said, if you're smart, you will stay as far away from this movie as you possibly can. The Spirit, my fourth worst movie I have ever seen in my entire life. So there you go. That brings up some really, really bad memories, but then again, these last three films will bring up some really bad memories as we move along here. But if you want to see what I had to say about my number 5 movie, which I'm so confused right now, I can't even remember what that movie was. I think it was Aliens in the Attic, I think it was. But anyway, if it wasn't, there it is right there in the corner. Check that out. Check out the other episodes I've done. I need to get out of here, so I'll see you guys next week. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care.